Hi, Dean Tuvey, How to Manage Tech. I want to have a quick chat to you about the elephant in the room when it comes to talking about Agile Project Management and Scrum. Now, Scrum is all about an empowered team able to make their own decisions. Where does the project manager fit in when you've got a Scrum Master and an empowered team? In Scrum, they don't. Or do they? Let's have a look. Alrighty, let's go then and have a look at where we left off in our last lesson. And by the way, if you're jumping into the series in the middle, I put a card to the first one. And if you need an orientation, I put another card to an IT management overview. So in our last discussion, I showed you the differences between Scrum and as an agile product delivery method and traditional project management frameworks like Prince2 and PMBOK as project control frameworks targeted at the project manager and telling the project manager what it is that they should be doing. I also showed you how DSDM merges these two together quite nicely. Now the question mark becomes, if you're using Scrum and you have a Scrum Master and a team, why do you need a project manager? Let me show you what I think that is and see if I can't help out with these two roles in your organization and your understanding of them. In the discussion of project manager versus Scrum Master, what I want to do is I want to refer you to a website known as less.works. What this does is it offers you a fascinating picture on what is the role of a Scrum Master. Now, what less.works offers you is a whole agile framework, and it's a rather fuller framework than Scrum. It takes Scrum as the core team formation, but then it says, what do you do if you've got dozens of developers or dozens of staff, possibly even hundreds of staff? How do you combine them into a much bigger effort? I love it. It's all published online. That is literally the URL there, less.works. But in particular, when you look at the Scrum Master, they've got a great discussion about the 4 main areas of the Scrum Master's focus. Let me show you how less.works reckons the Scrum Master spends their time, over time, working these 4 things out. X-axis, what we have is the focus of the Scrum Master, and they have like a little magnifying glass, and we have time. This is time, and this is their focus over here. Now, the first thing the Scrum Master is going to focus on is building up the capability of the product owner. This is a user, a powerful user who's empowered, has knowledge, is playing a part in the team with authority, able to make decisions, have availability to the team. And what they're going to do is they're going to generate the requirements, they're going to help with the design, they're also going to provide the funds, and they're also going to provide the vision. I want to show you the way the product owner is focused of the Scrum Master, a little bit like this. So in the beginning, product owner is the primary focus of the Scrum Master to make sure they can play their role in the team properly. But it's important that the team also be helped with their journey towards becoming a high-performing team as well. They are also going to get a similar level of attention from the Scrum Master. Now, the other 2 jobs that the Scrum Master is also supposed to be working on are the organizational development methods and the organizational approach to Agile. Let's add those 2 things in. So we add in development practices, and this is referring particularly to software because that is the focus of Scrum, the software development method, but this could be any practices around good solution development. When it comes to the organizational change piece around becoming more agile, we talk about the Scrum Master educating all of the different project stakeholders as to what interactions with the project are helpful and what aren't. In other words, running defense a lot of the time, shielding the team from unwanted interruptions so they can stay incredibly focused. So what happens is some groundwork has to be done initially. That falls away once we've got the project rolling, and then later on as the team settles, then the Scrum Master can bring their attention back to that organizational change around the agility piece. Let's put that in now. So after some initial work to make sure everyone's comfortable with how Agile is going to work, i.e. a sprint can't be stopped once it's started, except under extreme circumstances. It can't be changed, I should say. And then this is the organizational agility. Now this is all expected from our Scrum Master. Now what you can see is the Scrum Master is initially focusing on the product owner and the team, and then later on they're focused on the development practices and the organizational change. What if someone else was taking care of that organizational agility as well? What if we put our Agile Project Manager hat on there and we divided these roles up? In this way, the Project Manager becomes a coach to the rest of the organization and the stakeholders of the project, as well as the team themselves. So let me offer you that demarcation on the diagram. I want to suggest that this work here is the focus of my Scrum Master, very much embedded within the team and focused on their performance, while simultaneously the organizational work and the improvement of practices around both project control and product delivery tackled by the Agile Project Manager. Now, you may not find this particularly earth-shattering, but there is actually a hashtag no projects at the moment, and there's some very staunch Agilists who don't believe projects have a role in this world, much less a project manager. What I'm hoping now is that I've opened your mind as to where an Agile Project Manager fits in. And I have seen headlines like why we need Agile Project Managers for now, because a fully empowered team that's not only doing self-management, it also starts doing self-governance and self-directing and so on. All well and good, but you've got to leave someone to do something other than just purely in the team themselves. You've got to leave some role for managers and so on, or do you? Anyway, that is my take. Go and have a look at less.works. Based on this breakup and demarcation of the duties, I want to keep going with my Agile Project Manager lessons, and I'm going to show you more coming up soon. Look forward to seeing you then. Thanks very much.